I can say authoritatively, as at 2010, when the minimum wage was agreed to be 18,000 naira from 5,500 naira, which was the legislated amount. There were states, that was 2010, there were states that were not implementing the 5,500 naira minimum wage. But they were expected, because there is a law, to move straight to 18,000 naira. And I am happy today listening to the leader of NLC speaking on national television. He has acknowledged at the time that was 2018 when the negotiation for the 30,000 naira was taking place. There were still about 3 states, according to him, that have not yet implemented the 18,000 naira minimum. I want to accept it based on what he said. And he said there are about 9 states initially that are refusing to implement the current one. But when they now compute it based on the number of states, to say, well, okay, it means that there is about 27 states that are paying. He said, no, that is too much. We are being economical with the truth. Let's go and look at the indices. And I'm not doing it based on a claim of being detached, because there are all manner of allegations that I'm doing consultancy, I'm being paid. Governors pay me, no doubt. It's not about running away. This idea that if you are associated with political leadership, you are automatically a thief, we have to overcome it. That I work for governors does not make me against labor. Even when I work in NLC, they can confirm it or deny it. We stand up to our leadership and tell them, no, this position is wrong. Because the issue is, let's face the reality, how can Lagos, with all the resources they have, be pitched at the same level with Yobe or Zamfara? How? When you do that, you compromise issues of productivity. Lagos worker will give you as much as he's being paid, because he's already being shortchanged. And the point I read in that document, and this is the most important point I want to raise here, NLC and our unions should prioritize the issue of productivity. That today, Nigeria is being ranked as one of the poorest countries, not on account of low oil revenue alone. It's also on account of the fact that productivity indices within the country are low. And especially in the public sector. In the public sector, everything, question of productivity hardly exists. So, once productivity is low, amount of revenue that is lost will be so high. We can blame political leadership, and this is the point I have made in that paper. I know NLC. When I worked there, we have about 8 policies in different areas. There was a policy on economy, there was a policy on collective bargaining, there was a policy on labor and politics, which outlined basic demands in terms of what NLC wants or what labor want to move this country forward. Now, some of the bigger debate, because it's not today we are starting this debate with NLC. I've been called names before. I don't care. Let them call me whatever they want to call me. Part of the issue that will be raised, okay, it's revenue mobilization and fiscal commission not setting the salaries of all governors and public servant. Yes, they are doing, but is that the right thing? It's not the right thing as far as I'm concerned. If Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission is setting up a benchmark, they can set it a benchmark, but it does not stop a state government to rework and set up their own priorities. And these are the things, if there are things in the Constitution that tie states to what Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission is doing, then we have to review that. It's either we have federalism or we don't. We can't choose and pick. And I am arguing that if Labour apply itself correctly to negotiate a number of the issues, including negotiating how to fight corruption in this country. Because part of the frustration, we imagine the only corrupt people in this country are elected people and appointed political leaders. But go and check our people in the civil service. In fact, my argument, I have said this over and over again, most of our political leaders are being oriented by people in the civil service. They are being tutored how to steal money without being traced by people in the civil service. The only way we can get a handle to deal with that is if organizations like NLC, TUC, will give their backing in such a way that their members are in line. But today, it is possible if you catch anybody who is a member of NLC or TUC in corrupt practices, you can hear that Labour coming in to negotiate and whatnot. So there has to be some form of understanding between political leaders and leaders of organizations like Labour. They have a vital role to play. We are not going to negotiate the future of this country in the streets. Any sensible agreement, even the agreement on minimum wage, it wasn't contracted on the street. A legislator, like I said in that paper, he was just being passionate because he believed that problem need to be solved. He tabled it. What is the procedure? First hearing, second hearing, it goes to committee stage. Labour being an interested party, can't it prepare to go to that committee stage at the level of public hearing to engage it? Assuming even if they lose at that level, what is the next step? Assuming it is passed, where does it go to? Does it become a law? It doesn't become a law. It goes to the president for assent. And even at that level, Labour can invoke its own capacity to negotiate, lobby, and ensure that some of these things are done. But this, our democracy cannot develop. We cannot, we cannot be paralyzing ourselves. At one point, we want democracy to give us what we want. At some other point, we don't want it to function. What is the business of a National Assembly member if they cannot propose a bill? They propose a bill, then we go to the street to fight them. If anything, I am complaining the number of bills are not sufficient in terms of what we hear they earn. In fact, if you ask me, I want a situation where it should be 24/7. Their business every time they are there locked, considering bills. But because that is not the case, there are few bills. Even the few bills, we want to shoot them down. We don't want them to say. That is why we can have only 3 legislative days. Tuesday to Thursdays. The rest of the days, they are not here, or whatever they are doing. So, I think, and this is my point, Labour need to wake up and come back to their senses. We have fought for this democracy, and when I say we, it includes Labour. We today have this democracy. I think it is contemptuous of the democracy for us to say a section of the democracy should not function, should not do their job. I think we should engage them. Whoever is advising NLC to imagine that the only business they have is to protest. I want to be able to engage. I mean, I released my document on Sunday, isn't it? Till today, outside some of the things I got privately from some of them, they are accusing me of being sponsored by a governor and whatnot. It's not just a governor. I have 20 governors that are sponsoring me, and I don't. If I have the knowledge, I'm proud. I mean, I'm happy to be able to have the knowledge that will attract their all the consideration of being sponsored. I want to be able to do something, and I believe the future of this country is about negotiating these issues. We can all be passionate. I have respect for NLC leadership, I have respect for TUC leadership, but my advice to them is that they have better capacity in getting things done. In fact, this country is where it is because they are not really applying themselves in the right direction.